Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody all around the world, and thank you for joining us today for another Left 4 Dead 2 competitive shoutcast. My name is MK. I will be your caster and cameraman for today, and I will not be running solo. I will be running with Ninal as well. How you doing, Ninal?
I am doing lovely here on this Saturday evening.
Doing fantastic myself, and then we have one more other person with us as well. This person pretty much
Hmm.
doesn't need an introduction. It is the creator of the RBT series for 10 years ago and multi-tournament admin over probably 14 years of Left 4 Dead. It is Rails Barlow. How you doing, Rails?
How's it going, MK? Fancy meeting you here.
Long time no see, my friend. It is great to be able to speak with you today in RBT 7, and we have a fantastic match for everybody. Vaso De Leche against Nice Try here, Rails.
Indeed, we do, and I just do want to say thank you for that introduction. And the work that you and Nine Naw have been putting into this tournament has honestly been incredible. I did have a chance, because like I said, I can't really cast as much as I used to, but since I do have a little bit of time, right, I like tuning in and seeing kind of what's going on. I have absolutely loved the coverage that both you and Nine Naw have done in terms of like carrying on that Left 4 Dead 2 competitive, I guess, tradition at this point is what you want to say, 10, 14 years, whatever, however long it's been. This game itself, if it were a person, would be old enough to be in its sophomore year of high school, so there's that, you know what I mean? But the important part is that you guys have actually put the work in to do this, and when I saw the opportunity, especially with two teams of this caliber, I was like, let's see exactly what we can do. It's Saturday night, and what else better to do than see these two teams battle it out? It is Dark Carnival for the map, right, after the veto?
It is actually Dark Carnival Remix, so you actually are
Oh!
half correct, technically.
That's all right. NF is going to pop up from Turtle Rock and slap me at some point. But that's, that's something for me, at least, that seeing the map played this way and seeing the community contributions, I think it's pretty incredible. And I have to say, of the two teams that we have in front of us, the team of Vaso De Leche has really, really impressed me this tournament.
Indeed. How about you, Noel? How do you think they've been performing this tournament as
Yeah,
well?
that's funny you mentioned it. I'm actually on the opposite side of things. As some people may know, I love to cast my Chinese matches whenever possible, casting Ancient Cup, Magical Bamboo Cup this year. And Nice Try is not a team that has been on my radar. So to see them here, top 16, fighting for their lives here to maybe even breach top 8, for RBT7 up here against legendary team Vaso De Leche, it is anybody's match in my opinion. I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
And one thing, another here to set forth here, so everybody is aware, both of these teams are 3-1. So both of them have only fallen to one other team before, and they're both trying to keep that strive for the playoffs. And we're a little uncertain yet if it's going to be top 8 or top 16, so we'll just have to wait to see when that decision is made, and then we'll see what the playoff bracket can start forming out for the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with the Swiss round due to some circumstances that have unfolded for us, where some teams had to have their games overturned. So we'll have to
Right.
get back to that at the end of the week. But for now, this is what they're looking at, and they're both ranked very high right now in the top 16. And actually, they are ranked Vaso De Leche number 14 and Nice Try number 16. So if it ended today, they'd both be in if it was top 16.
Exactly. And this is something where one of the teams is asking to use a ringer. From what I saw, and I talked to Fig briefly about this, but in terms of some teams using more than one ringer or using, needing to field at least 3 people from your roster, usually one ringer is just fine. They are asking if they can use one at this point because they said Pee-wee was having a little bit of a unfortunate real life circumstance prior to this match. So I'm pretty sure I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to allow it because they just want this match to go, right? I mean,
I
Yeah,
mean, we
I
we
think
are
so.
at the point where the wins matter so much. Like whoever loses this is going to be out of top 16.
yeah.
For example. So I don't think they might be able to, but for example, we just saw Yafue versus Pixel Gunners 3D. Pixel Gunners 3D agreed to a sub, and Risperter came into the server. So I think they'll at least want to vet the ringer first, see who it is. Okay, they do say that they can. All right.
Wait, wait, Rail, can you confirm? Is that actually Star? Is that Evo Star?
You are on the same page that I am. I am fairly sure that's why they're also tagged up as NT or something like that. This is a very, very interesting meme that we have in front of us here because I'm pretty sure that could be Star from Evo as well.
And if anybody has done some research or knows Star from the past, we know how the games can go. If Star is happy, it's a happy game. If Star is not happy, It is a whole W game, as you've probably seen in the past, Rails, from many games you have cast
Oh
for
yeah.
Evo over the years.
No, it turns into Mario Kart essentially.
You better hit him with a blue shell and don't let him get too far ahead. That's what you got to
Dude,
do.
I'm telling you, the thing about this that I love, and I think we actually do take some kind of inspiration from the Smash community, because I don't know if anybody watching remembers K3, right? But he was somebody who was actually active in the Pro Smash Brothers community, and it's like, in that same way, I kind of like the twists and turns, but I remember so many games with Evo. Like, and we're talking top tier matches too. We're talking against like Long Shlong dudes, or we're talking, like Bravo Purple's team, whoever was there. I mean, I remember them playing against Pubstar. I remember them playing against Envy in different ways. And there are just sometimes that Star has this way. And, like I said, he's one of the best players the game has ever seen. I give him that. And he has just that ability to, like, Team Evo and him in particular, they would do things that would just, like, absolutely turn the game on its head in either a positive or a negative way, but it would get your attention guaranteed,
Absolutely, and look at who we have in the chat. Speaking of what you said, K3 pops up as soon as you
Oh,
say
there
his
it
name.
is!
Look at
That's
him,
perfect.
a blast from the past teammate of mine as well. Very great to see him. Also, met him actually on console, if you remember the conversation we had way back, Rails. That's where I met him.
Oh yeah, he told me a little bit about the console days and how that kind of stuff goes. See, this is the thing about it. When we were talking about the Left 4 Dead 2 tradition and that stuff, you've had a lot of people, pop in and out of this game and make themselves known in different ways. K3 obviously was a caster and a player, and somebody who was on 2 different platforms. The fact that we had Wristburner in a game on 9naw's stream, which I didn't cast, but that I saw, I was like, is that actually him? And it's like, yes, it is, of course. So
I looked it up. It is.
dude.
Yep.
No way, Brian.
Yeah,
No, I'm telling
again?
you, literally, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Wow, that's like 3 members of Frag 4 now back and playing. That's pretty wild.
Exactly. I managed to catch Fear Factory's match earlier too, or at least part of it, and that was a good comeback that they made. But that's what I mean. Things are so much better, and this will come into play now as I think the Ringer is joining. There's going to be some kind of ping balancing here, yeah.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they agreed to equalize pings. It's been pretty much the norm, even though home and away is by default. We had a couple home and away games, but it seems everybody likes the balanced pings just for a more even game. And if you have both teams kind of playing around the 180, 200 range compared to 350 range, it's a totally different game.
Absolutely. I mean, and the other thing about it is, this is my personal opinion, because obviously as somebody who's, I guess I'm technically listed as an advisor to the admins or whatever, but with RBT being the tournament series that has gone on for 10 years now, I've seen RBTs on single server games with unbalanced pings. I've seen home and away tournaments again. In my personal opinion, this game is meant to be played one time on one server with balanced pings. Like, so this ping balancing thing that Prodigy Sim did, like, that's something that I think we were sorely lacking for a long time. And if I had my way, like, every single game would be played with, like, the closest pings possible and then that balance put into play. And I think I'd say probably like 70 to 80% of players would agree. You know what I mean?
Do you see? Yeah, I agree. Do you see that a lot too, Null? On all the games that you've done, would you agree most of it was balancing pings rather than home and away?
Oh yeah, we had a couple of oddballs who were kind of forcing the issue with home away at the start, but they kind of fell back off of it. Some people had some bad experiences with home away, without going to too much of the details, but people have mostly converted over to neutralized pings, except for specific scenarios.
I mean, the thing about it is, right, and MK knows this too, the game was usually played on one server one time, and we're about to see a match here played on one server one time on Dark Carnival Remix as we get our first pause of the game. We're going to be going live right here with Team Vaso De Leche on Survivor side and Star rejoining on the Infected side. MK, what teams do we have in front of us here?
We're going to have Vaso De Leche against Nice Try. Vaso De Leche, we have Cannoli, Bueno, Varbre, Mazur, and Manzana. And I'll let you take Nice Try away because I can't pronounce any of them.
For Nice Try, we have one name I unfortunately cannot read because I'm uncultured. 37.2, Abba and Star. The first hit is going in. That's a pound spit, landing with the smoker going for the same target. Just about 14 damage on that, with the smoker actually preserving itself. And this is something where with that tank being this late, they're going to have to get as much damage as possible beforehand because, by the way, I've actually seen in the past Team Evo play on this map, and these survivors can play ultra aggressive on this tank.
Fun little note, the Chinese name actually is English, the English translation is Patrick Star, so we got 2 stars on Team Nice Try.
It sounds like a SpongeBob star. All right, we will have a Charger, Hunter, Smoker, and a Jockey. It's actually gonna be a quad try for the underpass here. And why don't you take it away, Naw, when they take this quad attempt?
All right, quad coming up. We got Ellis setting up way back in the back lines. This is a bit of a 2-2 setup. Two of the survivors walking under that underpass where they want to progress through. Hunter does spawn in. This smoke is going to connect, but unfortunately overlapping. But it's still going to be a double. Charge, one. As well as the jockey with the smoke scratches. It's going to be 15, I guess like 15%. I wasn't paying attention to that first hit, but at least a good 10%.
Hurry it. Hey, coach.
Yeah, I mean, from that, right, Ellis made, I think, a good play there in the back, because I think they figured out on the Survivor side that it was going to be a quad. And, of course, whenever you look at a quad, you're like, oh, okay, you know, you want to kill the Survivors entirely. That still did a good amount of damage, and that's where I think the ping comes into play. With everybody on red here, that, I think, is going to be something that won't be the only time we see from this match. But at the same point in time, this Hunter is going to go and managing to land. But the Spitter and the Charger aren't really there for it, and that Charger in the hands of 37.2 is just going to charge and despawn MK.
I think they could take this.
I'm out.
I think they get this choke point for free too. That they took the top route. Only the Charger can reset them here, and I don't think he's going to make the attempt soloed. Because if he fails, then they're kind of pretty much no damage with the next set of spawns.
Exactly. That is going to be a Jockey, Charger, Smoker, and a Boomer. Naw, tell us what they're going to do with this. We do have an alarm car in play as well.
Exactly, as you allude to, we got that alarm car, which they have to be very careful. If the hit comes out, they're not really going to play around it. They're going to get the 2-2 nonetheless. Charger waiting, going to walk up from some scratch. Collat double charge with the boom stumble as well. Smoker going in for some more scratches. Another massive hit. Had a nice try.
Honestly, that is something where, again, the SI doing a really good job coordinating there and getting the damage. But MK, you're going to hear me harp on this throughout the entire match. This is definitely something where I think the team with the better SI cohesion might win just due to the pings that we're seeing.
Hey, coach.
I absolutely agree with that. I mean, if you look, they did 4 SI attacks. They've already lost 30% of their bonus. That is more than a tank's. Whoa, the tank's. Okay, it's in the sky for me. I gotta respect here.
Yeah, I saw that
The
too.
tank was flying in the sky for some reason, but like I said, 4 hits, over 30% damage, almost 36 to be, or 34 to be exact, and now they're gonna retreat back here. And I don't think the infected are gonna let this go unwarranted. They're probably gonna hit as soon as they have 37.2 back up. What a name.
Indeed they are. It's going to be a Hunter, Jockey, and a Charger for the run back hit, but actually, you know what? They're going to let the Survivors go back a bit. There is one Survivor bleeding. They're going to maybe hit when the Survivors make this transition. No, they're still not going. And no, I mean, this tank is up in the hands of Star, and he's now just going to be maybe kind of following them in. He knows he has one person bleeding, but the Survivors are trying to run back all the way, and he's close to them with a car.
Yeah, so he hits the first car into play. It looks like he just wants to go for that commit with the Hunter, Jockey, Charger. He is going to delay a little bit. 40% left on first pass. Okay, gonna take down the tempo a little bit with the rocks. Like y'all said, we expected the hit to come out earlier, but it didn't. They've been saving up those SIs. Gonna miss the first hit on the car. The second hit, not really gonna go according to plan. 20% health down already. He's just gonna go for the engage, try to corral the survivors into the car. Not gonna work. Gonna get that smack onto Buena Vibra. And the jockey comes out before he can pop the pills, and he is down to start off this engagement. We got a Charger and a Hunter still alive. Charger connecting. One with the rock. No. We're gonna follow up with the smack, and down goes Manzana. Got 1,000 health left on this tank. Make it 500. He's gonna try to delay. The pickup will come out onto Buena Vibra.
Oh, he's got the car going in too, and it's not going to land. That was nearly a snipe there too. I think we were all just kind of winning with anticipation there, because at least in my opinion, as he misses that last punch, that went like from being almost nothing, right, to maybe even being a wipe once that Charger landed. I was kind of nervous for the Survivors. I think there was still a Hunter in play at that point, and if they had gotten multi-cap there, that could have been a wipe. Obviously, Charger, Hunter, and Jockey is kind of bad for that open area, but MK, that was still a tremendous amount of damage, honestly.
Yes, it was. They were at 67%. They were reduced down to 41.5, so the tank took a little bit less than what they've already lost before the tank. Actually, no, it's pretty close to even, but it's still a lot of damage coming out from both SI and tank, and now they'll have to take a couple more sets of spawns before they make it to the safe room, and they are taking this very cautiously here, 9-0 with a Charger, Jockey, Smoker, Spitter coming up.
Yeah, they're chilling out on the playground. Gotta be careful for the alarm car. Again, the Smoker into the charge. Charge will get cleared. Jockey connecting. No. spitter onto nothing, and a rare kind of a miss out of Nice Try. They've got 40% bonus left. Vaso De Leche pushing through, y'all.
In all honesty, the survivors have a little bit more momentum now, which I'm kind of surprised at. Because in that open area, it's like, okay, if you had that setup, I guess I was expecting like a little bit less damage, but the survivors are actually probably happy with where they're at. Because like MK said, essentially they lost just about as much on the tank as they did the hits before that, and now I think they're moving with a little bit more momentum, because taking that much damage pre-tank is bad, but where they're at right now, I mean, especially for a one game on the high ping, they're probably happy with where they're sitting. This hit is going in, though. That's going to be the Hunter getting ski, and Jockey's going to land. The Charger is going to collide with the Jockey and do absolutely nothing, because this game is the best video game anyone ever made.
Oh man, I haven't seen that in a while.
That's a wall.
Yeah, that is. Oh no, he shot the car. I don't know if they'll make it in fast enough.
Oh.
They don't care. They're just running towards the safe room at this point.
I think
that was that was a round that I think is going to be indicative of how this entire game is going to go. This bit's going to go down really on just Koji almost gets in cap. What is going on, guys?
He just threw away about 70 bonus there. We'll see if that plays later. Don't shoot the car alarm. I'm pretty sure it was an accident, but it was really unfortunate for them. They got stuck in the door. That one common, I could say that as many times anybody who's played Left 4 Dead, Rails and Nine could both agree, one zombie can change everything, and that was a good situation right there where it did.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the car alarm, I mean, just a slip of the mind. I really doubt they're going to BM here at a comp match like this, but such a interesting place to hit that car alarm.
I mean, is it BM or is it an exclamation point for making the map on red ping?
Right.
Yeah, that is true. They're playing. They're all about in between 160 to 190. It seems. It doesn't seem anybody goes into 200. Ain't too bad, but they definitely got to play like they can't play like they're on green ping, or they'll get themselves common locked for sure by playing too aggressive.
Well, I will say this is Team Nice Tries on the Survivor side, and I'm not trying to say they're the same team as Evo just because they have one player that way, but from a playstyle standpoint, as we see this first 2-2 do a decent amount of damage with that Hunter and that Spit landing about the same for either team, a little better for Team Vaso De Leche. The point I was going to make, though, is that sometimes teams play the exact, and this surprised me too, by the way, but sometimes teams do play the exact same on red ping as they do on green to somewhat mixed results. Because this map is so open in general, I can clearly remember Team Evo actually rushing a tank with like 250 ping on this map, and it was this exact same tank at 83%.
That would be impressive to see. I would like to see it happen as they clean up. About 24 commons trickle it in from behind. They do have a quad to take, so they're going to make sure that there's no common infected to interfere with their transition through the underpass. But they have only taken one attack, and notice this, Rails. They're actually targeting Star. I wonder if they know. If they know what the hint is, just to keep damaging Star to get him a little upset.
Maybe. I mean, that's the thing. When you're a player who's that good and who has that kind of reputation, if you know how to play somebody specifically, you can do something like that. But Team Vaso De Leche does have the quad here in the same position, actually, as we saw on their Survivor side. The Survivors are starting to go a little forward, but there is one Survivor also in the back, somewhat isolated here. The Jockey's going for him, and he is going to land. The Smoker is not, however. The Charger's also going to whiff. The Jockey does ride for a decent amount of time, but that's a better take, honestly, by Team Nice Try than what we saw for Team Vaso De Leche and all.
It was looking scary, like the isolation with the Jockey almost, but that charge going way wide, and yeah, just going to be locking in a couple percentage of Far Cry from that nasty 10% hit out of NT on their SI side.
Uh-oh. Rochelle messed that up for everybody right there. She didn't go the right way. There is no shortcut up there. So now they're going to have to go around the other way. Actually, they're going to send an attack in now.
Yeah.
This is interesting. They're going to be able to take this choke point for free. I know they didn't have good spawns, but they can just take this for free now. They should be by both car alarms.
This is such an interesting, like, mental game, honestly, between the two teams. Because from where we're sitting, right, like, I agree with you. That did kind of, like, that was kind of something that might have thrown them off, but also maybe it was kind of like a bait. Because it's like, okay, there's one Survivor down here, everybody go, and it's a 2-2. Now, suddenly they have this choke point for free, like you mentioned, MK, and it's like, it's going to be really hard to tell when you have two teams that are this good who are doing those kinds of things, exactly what the positional movement's going to be. I'm sure we're probably going to see some things that are intentional and some things that are errors just because Rule 3s, right? But at the same point in time, you know, this is something where this next hit has the chance to do a decent amount of damage, but the smoker gets cleared. Charger gets melted. This is great survivor play so far from Team Nice Try.
I feel like Nice Try kind of, like, Vaso De Leche kind of took the hit on their terms, like on the survivors' terms out there on the playground, and they're able to just immediately clean up everything up. They don't have to deal with the car alarm, and they just press forward.
Yeah, they definitely did. One thing to note, though, I mean, if everybody roots for Vaso De Leche, we do have to realize they do not have their captain, Pee-wee. That is their lead captain and their front shotgun player. So they are down that right now. We'll have to see how much that comes into play with the first tank of the game for Vaso De Leche in the hands of Cannoli.
Indeed it is. It's a jockey spitter and a smoker for the next hit from Vaso De Leche, and they're probably going to try to hit the survivors as they're going back. But the movement here by Team Nice Try, extremely synchronized in a way that you absolutely love to see. They are going to be pushing this back. At the same time, the smoker is going for some kind of car alarm play. Jockey going as well, getting M2 to death. Rochelle is going to not drop off the side. MK, that was a hair away from being a reset. And there's the alarm car trigger!
Uh-oh. This could be disastrous for Nice Try. It depends on what the tank chooses to do. I think the survivors will run this all the way back to the safe room. Did you see that comment?
They are out!
Oh god, oh no, this is...
There is one thing to note here. I don't know if you are aware of this, Rails. When survivors retreat now, every 7% of the map they run back, the tank will get 5% of rage.
Yeah,
or 5 seconds. Rage,
I did see that. You know, I don't know if it was the survivors trying to kill the smoker, but I was honestly surprised by that car alarm, like, being triggered. Obviously, the Horde's still in play, and this car goes helicoptering in towards Ellis as the survivors are running all the way back here. They are a little bit split, and this car is still just kind of chasing them. The tank is going to be maybe committing. The smoker's also following them, already pre-spawned. It is pretty chaotic here, with one survivor bleeding as well, going back to the safe room. And what you mentioned before, that is going to be an interesting play depending on what happens. That one boom does land as well, trying to keep the chaos as organized as possible here as Cannoli is rolling this car in as well. End over end, the survivors are in the safe room. He's still on first pass, and the Horde from the car alarm is dead, so they managed to navigate that entire transition without somebody dying, and now the SI are going to be forced to kind of commit with this. Smoker Hunter Jockey is the right setup too, so both teams playing this perfectly so far, as this car is pretty much going to be everything, and now it's Persh on top of the sign. He's missing a punch on it, and now that's going in over the guardrail. Let's see what they can do. The survivors are split. Back punch going in. There's the smoke getting clear, but the car goes down onto 37.2's head, and the tank is going to try to kill her on the guardrail. This is going to be the second grind, third grind, and that is going to be a death going out. Amazing play by the Special Infected as the jockey is dead. MK, it is Team Vaso De Leche who so far has triumphed over the chaos of this first map.
Yes, they have. They have solidified a kill. They do still have about 311 a bonus to get rid of on the survivor side. They are split 2 and 1 right now, kind of regrouping. Oh, it was so close. The Charger's looking for a spawn. He's got between the survivors. Oh, Star almost gets hit by the Charger but misses, but gets pulled. The 2 boom survivors are able to get the clear. He hasn't lost much more of his health now. He has 885 bonus, and there's a comet flying to the sky for some reason, and then it lands, and it survives the land as this tank is still just keeping rage, and this is madness going on now.
Absolutely, they're gonna try for the recommit.
Oh,
let's go! No way!
Another comet in the sky.
No way!
Dude, and the Hunter hits the pin! This is a wipe! This is literally a wipe!
Oh no!
Yo!
Disaster!
Oh my goodness, that is one of the... I knew it was going to be worth it just be like, yo, let's cast this game because of exactly what we just saw. 660 to 298 in the favor of Team Vaso De Leche, and that is how, when that kind of chaos gets created, you have to make sure that everybody is positionally sound. First it was the kill MK, then it was the separation, and that car snipe was one for the ages.
Incredible to see, and very fortunate for Vaso De Leche, able to get the wipe. The one thing that is kind of fortunate for Nice Try, even though they fell to the wipe, is that they were able to progress about 80% of the way through the map, so they still got almost 300 points of that distance. And it's only about a 300 some point game, and it is not over by any means with a tank at 10% here. No, look at that. Earliest it could be.
Wow, we are going to be off here with a bang. Of course, Nice Try is in the hole, but They can definitely make some stuff happen. Massive flips here if they can survive this tank and get a wipe. Of course, it's it's a story as old as time. And what I also think that the devil is in the details here when these top teams come to play. I don't know if y'all noticed, but there was a point where the Charger had a spawn while the tank was running them down. He peeks out onto Star, gets 2 smacks, makes him slow. Star has to pop his pills. Every little variable coming out into play for Vaso De Leche, making that an amazing wipe coming out.
That honestly was also an amazing example, in my opinion, of how usually, okay, like you've got tanks like Death Toll Map 4, where it's like, okay, get every hittable into play that's possible, plus like, I don't know, Sacrifice Map 2, but that was one card that Cannoli knew how to hit perfectly, and he caused an entire wipe pretty much because of it. He got 2 in caps almost on his own. So it is going to be Team Vaso De Leche. This game is still quite early, especially because Finale could be in play. They are on the Survivor side first with a nice lead off the first highlight round that we've seen of this game. It's a Charger, Smoker, Hunter, and a Boomer, with the Boomer getting an Arc Boom for Team Nice Try. They absolutely cannot be counted out yet, MK, as the Survivors are now waiting for this horde to clear.
Yes, it looks like they have about 10 seconds left for the Boomer. They're going to go in, they drop the Boomer, it gets a triple proxy! It's almost a tri-cap, but they have a 2-cap outside. The Hunter is still not cleared. Smoker getting a lot of damage with a Boom Survivor. Almost 9% comes out. It does do that, over 10% damage with a 10% tank spawn, and it will be the second tank of the game for Nice Try into the hands of those cool figures right there.
Patrick Star!
Patrick Star, there you go.
Thank you, I forgot.
Yeah!
We had Star, and the way to remember it is that if it's called Patrick Star, I mean, this is the thing about it. Since Null translated it for us, we just have to kind of remember that that is the name that is Patrick Star. If they had gotten a bleeder on that first hit, that would have been even more ideal, because now this tank does have the high ground, is going to be staring at the Survivors, and it's a Jockey and a Charger for this first support hit. MK, I don't know. If you try to play a rock tank here, you really need your support to land, obviously.
Yeah, you're going to need it all in order to get that rock for the distraction. They're going to need a capper here. I don't think a 2-2 is going to happen. It's a possibility, but it's already second pass. The time for sacking an infected is over. They have to roll in with this, or else he's going to have to trade HP for rage. And with how close they are, it's not going to be something you want to do. So here goes Patrick Star. He's on the way in. The Hunter pre-spawns. He has hit the ground. He's already down to 4,500 HP. He hits the stairs. He jumps down. He is down to 4K still. The Hunter does land. The tank is not near it. They still have not cleared the Hunter for some reason. He gets his corner by the dumpster. He whips it. The Chargers come in. The Jockey lands. He gets a punch. Clears the Jockey now. There goes an in cap. He has 2,000 HP. He's going for the dumpster. And I don't know if he's going to get much more unless he can get this to go up there. Oh, it hits on the Minsada. I don't know if he's going to have enough time. He can't get the angle. And they will survive. The tank gets an in cap. And that will be pretty much all the damage that's going out from Nice Try's second tank of the map.
That's what I'm here for.
That was a little insane just because that Hunter landed, but the tank wasn't near it. The tank went for the corner on his own near the hittable instead of taking the Survivor who was pinned in the open by the Hunter. So that was the one decision that he made where I was like, okay, I see what he was going for. And obviously with that hittable control to knock that up onto Coach after Coach was in capped already, obviously, then he might have been able to get something had he gotten there a little bit faster. But because he missed that one hit there, when they were in the corner, it turns out only being one in cap from that tank.
Absolutely, and look at how quick they push that thing up there. They are going to be trying to hop up and over if they can get the table to go how they want. They will be able to do so, but they're going to be met with a 2-2 Hunter Smoker. Once they try, Nick and Ellis are over. Hunter on the backside will get speeded out eventually, spit onto Nada, and Smoker going to try to pull Rochelle into it. Not going to be having any of that. And Vaso De Leche, after a scary 10% first hit that looked really worrisome for them, they are going to be powering through.
Yeah, I would agree so. They did take the choke point pretty well. I think the Infected tried to capitalize on what they were doing by hitting the Uzi player on the back. Unfortunate, the Hunter just couldn't find the target to get that pound spit, and they did get a proper death order with the best hit in the game minus the quad here rails. Hunter Charger, Jockey Spitter.
Indeed, they're going in. Charger is going to land. The Hunter's going to land. There's the Jockey for the quick tri-cap as the Hunter is getting cleared too. That definitely makes up for some of that tank damage. That was a brilliant hit.
Wow. Wow. Able to lock in so much damage there. Just about as much damage as the tank did. They will be taking right around towards 40% of the bonus left. Headed through the carnival area.
Man, Nice Try's special infected on the non-tanks is scary. We saw that happen MK last map where they had one hit that just got somebody bleeding, and that tri-cap was literally like a movie.
Yes, it was. Looks like they're going to send the Hunter from the back again, but they weren't quite ready. The Charger lands, but gets clear. The Hunter was just kind of late to the party, and so was the Smoker. I don't think everybody was on the right page there. They got a little excited, and the only thing they got here is a good death order, and they should have a Hunter, Charger, Jockey, Spitter again coming up here, Rails.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely as excited, maybe not as excited as we were from those hits that they were sending out, but you can see Star saying go-go because they do like to hit fast, and that's one thing that I do remember being that kind of style of play where it's like, okay, let's get the hits in, let's do as much damage as possible, we're both playing on red ping, we have great synchronization, and I really do kind of agree with that just because it seems like every hit could do like a massive amount of damage when you have a team that's this good playing SI. It's a Spitter, Boomer, Charger, and a Jockey for this hit as the survivors are making their way in. Jockey's gonna go in, trying to land on the coach, not gonna get it. Charger's gonna get shut down. They're going for the quad 9 and all.
They certainly are. That hit not going to be too much of a resounding success, but they will lock in the quad, like you said. And they are going to be trying to cut down on Vaso De Leche's momentum. They're threatening to lock in 900. Certainly not going to get the entire 900. But we are going to have the event started here shortly with the hit coming in. Take it away, MK.
It's going to be a quad attempt. I don't know if they're ready. They're going to have to wait on the other side of the merry-go-round. No, the Smoker wants to go now. This is interesting. The Smoker's going to have to relocate, and this kind of messes up the hit. I don't know what he's going to be able to do in time if he can get there. But they know where he is now, and the Survivor's just going to hold this tight here until they go out, Rails.
The reason that I laughed is because they want somebody bleeding, and the Survivors are kind of listening to the Smoker not kind of going. If they can get Coach like slow, right, like in full bleed down to slow there, that would be perfect. And now it's a waiting game because this event doesn't terminate, does it?
No, it's not finite. It's infinite until they turn it off.
Okay, so this is exactly what I think they want, because if they can have just one Survivor like absolutely slow, that makes it so much easier to land like a Charger on him. They are going to be pushing in now though, as that Smoker does get the separation pull in front, not going to land, and the Survivors I think made a really good play there, because I think they kind of sensed that's what was happening, MK, and that's why they held W even with this much work.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to shut everything down, but I mean, nothing landed except for the Smoker for one tick. But the Survivors still lost about 80 bonus from the commons, if I'm being honest. They were at 400 something down to 333 with only a Smoker landing. With the last spawns coming up here. Take
They
it away,
are going to send it in. Smoker going to try to connect. Nothing. Spit not able to connect either. But the Hunter will do his job. Gets the down. We've still got the Spit. 5 seconds left on that Spit. Going to have to wait for the Survivors to get picked back up. 2 seconds. 1. And he is... Whoa, cannoli. Going to shut that down. Lock it up.
Okay, so they make the save for him, and now they have 1,436 points. This is such an interesting just back and forth between these two teams. Obviously, we need to see Team Nice Try on Survivor side make the map as well to keep this as interesting as it's been. But the most important part of that is you see it being a chess game between the two sides in terms of the movement, because both sides are just really acutely aware of the fact that we want the SI to hit on Survivor side where the Survivors want them to, and vice versa. The Infected want to be the ones who control the pace. And a lot of what you saw from Team Nice Try there, I think, was to try to get the pace more under their control. Even if it's like, okay, let's try to go now and like surprise them, or let's go with 1 or 2 SI when one Survivor's out of position. On red ping, those things do work. Just because, as MK mentioned, even with like only the Smoker landing on that last quad attempt, they still lost like 80 bonus or something just due to common. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Absolutely.
I definitely agree there. And I would say going into the second half of this chapter right here, Null, this tank fight's going to set the tone for Nice Try's comeback.
Oh, yeah.
If they can do this. Why don't you take the opening hit away?
Okay, Boomer's set up behind the dumpster. Ellis is going out for the gold here. Survivor's going to follow up, but they've walked into the trap. Charger will connect. Hunter will as well. Got quick clears, 5%.
Did you see Rochelle got pooped out by the Charger there? I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
It kind of just pooped him out. I don't know if it was from the Boomer stumble as well, but we have the second tank coming up for Vaso De Leche in the hands of Manzana. And it looks like Manzana's going to get some toys here, Rails, before he decides to commit this tank.
Yep, and this is going to be an example of, because this other dumpster exists, we should probably bring it in just because that area is as open as it is. Like I said last map with Cannoli's wipe, it's like, okay, if you can get one hittable to work really, really well, depending on how the map itself is situated, that's kind of what you do. But this tank is committed to getting both in here. They are going to kill the Boomer. Charger and Jockey still available for this SI hit. They're not sacking the Charger, so they're going to be committing with this. That's a nice dumpster going in, and I lied because that's the hittable going in and landing onto Patrick Starr. He's going in because they have the in-cap. This is a disaster for Team Nice Try right there. The caster curse living on an infamy, as this is going to be the second kill that we've seen, but it's one hittable that he needs to do this. So there we go. As we see the multi-punch landing, there's the corner going out onto Coach, and this tank is almost dead, but he's going to jump in and pump grind Rochelle to death with the last HP that he's got aside from this last hit. He's going for 2 kills, actually. This tank has 300 health, and he is going to absolutely do the same thing to Coach, and that's 2 deaths going out. Oh my goodness. Absolutely never mind saving the Charger for the commit. Let's land it and just get a hittable snipe for a wipe as well. 2 maps in a row, MK. Same story, different hittables.
Incredible play coming out by Vaso De Leche. They're like, we don't need Pee-wee. We're going to do him well. We'll take care of him when he's gone. We'll get this W, he says. But right now, Nice Try's got to try to get whatever they can salvage with their 2 survivors. And no one has a shotgun right now, which is not good, Nine-Naw.
Yeah, Nice Try has gotten absolutely dismantled. So much to analyze there with that tank, but the hit is in nonetheless. Going to connect with Star. Smoke comes in. It's the wipe.
This special infected play by Vaso De Leche, if they keep playing like this, that they said that's dedicated to Caesar, so I think that actually was for Pee-wee. At the same point in time, right, this kind of special infected play at this level on an even server, right, against a team of Nice Try's caliber, this could legitimately get them to, like, the quarters of the semis of this tournament if they're up against teams of a similar caliber, just because, like, it's literally coming down to a hittable hit on each one of these, but the hittables have been perfect. Like, they are hitting them, like, I mean, the best that I've probably seen, and I don't even know how long, like, screw it being quote-unquote RBT quality, right? It's like, that's some of the best that I've ever seen, because they're going exactly where they want them to. It's the quality over quantity thing, and when you have one hittable that can do that, you can just kill an entire team. That Charger landing, I don't think the survivors were expecting that kind of stuff to happen. I'm sure some people were like, oh, it's luck, blah, blah. No. If you hit a hittable that well, that takes actual skill, in my opinion. I'll die on that hill, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Naw, look at this as well, Naw. Another early tank, 24%. This is what Nice Try needed. If they want to have a shot at a comeback, they would need to get a wipe with this early tank. And also, just to keep in mind, this chapter is worth the most points. Actually, I take it back. They lowered it to 500 distance. It used to be 600, but now it's 500, so I take that back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you think, Naw, but I think this is do or die for Team Nice Try. Like, they need a boomer and a white hair. Yeah.
And, you know, even if you say that hittable was luck, like, let's even say that, the post-hittable play was insane. Manzana, I believe, was the tank. He was like, nah, we're not even going to finish him off. We're going to get this other guy first, and we're going to connect them both with the dumpsters. He even runs, like, he makes them dip back, and then he goes for the kill on the second guy with such little health. The bluff into the kill, I mean, it just is blowing my mind, the play out of Vaso De Leche here. Nice Try, like I said, is getting absolutely dismantled here so far. They're down over 1,000. They have to bring it back right now. They do get bailed out, like I said, by another early tank, 24%. They have the chance to do it. It is going to be Vaso De Leche on the survivor side. So if we get some fireworks out of this tank, maybe a full wipe especially, some magic could happen.
I completely agree. I will say that I absolutely agree with you that actually, you know what, Team Vaso De Leche, out of all the teams that I've seen so far, which granted hasn't been like the most expert amount, but of who I've seen, they're my team to watch just because of how they play on Survivor and Infected side. They're proving it here. But the one thing I will say in conversation with what Naw just said is the fact that I think this game is a lot closer than the score. So MK, yes. I don't think I rule out a comeback yet from Nice Try either.
Nope, they just got to capitalize with their tank play, manage to get the wipes. The only downside to Dark Carnival remixes are not worth a ton of points. So you got to take advantage of everything that's given to you. And remember, they do have 3 more chapters, so we're not saying it's just over after 4. If they could bring it within a couple hundred going into Chapter 5, we could see Map 5 coming out, but let's see what they do with this opening attack, which is going to be a Charger, Smoker, Boomer, Hunter. And why don't you take it away when they go through now?
All right, Smoker is going to go for the initial connection charge, trying to follow up, but is going to get cleared instantaneously. Hunt will connect on the backline for just a moment, and not a whole lot of damage coming out on Vaso De Leche. Just that one boom to finish off the hit, and they're going to be able to push straight forward.
Indeed, they are. This is something where, like I said, okay, obviously I'm just going to state the elephant in the room here. There are no hittables on this tank. So I have a chance of, like, at least in my head, of both teams surviving this, right? And the other thing, though, is, like, a tri-cap here from how Team Nice Try have played on their non-tank hits. Like, they could definitely achieve something like that. Or if a double boom lands when you're in high ping like this, it could be catastrophic. So could be this smoker pull in the front, but the Charger wasn't really there to capitalize on it. After getting slapped in the mouth like that twice, MK, by those 2 hittables, it's like... You gotta somehow find a way for Team Nice Try to, like, mentally reset, say, okay, let's just completely, like, you know, ignore the score and try to do something here, because it's definitely possible, but man, they're kind of going against the grain for this tank in the hands of Ava.
Yes, especially with the Smoker dying off there, they're not going to have one for the commit, and I don't think they have time to stack, or it's going to be a 2-1 with a Boomer. And it's really difficult to get a boom out here. And they're going to go. They're actually okay, no, never mind. They're getting the tank over.
What?
They sacrifice 150 HP from the Hunter now. I don't know about that call. What's your opinion on that there, Rails?
I mean, this is going to be interesting because the tank is in. The Hunter only does have 100 HP. As you said, they were trying to protect the tank. This tank needs to get the corner, and he does get the first punch onto Rochelle. Getting another one, but that's not the corner, in my opinion, that he needs. He is now going back in, getting the punch onto Coach, though. They're waiting a little bit on the support, but now the Hunter goes in, and he's nowhere near. Charger goes in, too, and suddenly, Team Vaso De Leche are in a brilliantly controlling position. I don't know what you think about that, MK, and I want to hear what you thought, too, Nall, but that was kind of a strange transition for that tank.
Yeah, I definitely... I mean, I know they don't want him to take any damage, but it's not worth having your Hunter chip down so fast because he was easily cleared when it landed, not giving the time for the other capper to assist him, and not giving the tank really much damage at all at 79.8% left now.
Yeah, I mean, 20% of the bonus gone post-tank is not what you want to see if you're the SI side. It is a ton of love, lest we forget. Definitely some lovely SI culminations. Speaking of such, Smoker getting the distraction, pull, separation. They run through the spit, double boom. They will be able to clear Rochelle, but they're going to need some more creative plays like that. Catching Vaso De Leche off guard, need to make explosions here if they want to come back, because
yeah, here's the thing though, and I'll mention this about the tank and then we can try to kind of move on from it, but it's because I've seen the same thing on 2 tanks from Team Nice Try now. They've had a Hunter pin somebody and the tank really not be like nearby to take advantage of it, if that makes sense. Like the Hunter's landed, and then usually when you see a Hunter land, you see the tank throw an E-Rock and then an immediate punch, you know what I mean? And that hasn't happened on either tank. The tank has then gone for somebody else. So I don't know, like I said, some of these hits have been brilliant from Team Nice Try, but on the tanks, their cohesion hasn't been amazing, even as they're playing against a team who's playing with, you know, 3 people on their roster and 1 ringer. This hit's gonna go in there. The Charger gets the stumble. Jockey does get a jock in the front. There's the Hunter landing for a little bit of damage as well, and that, I think, was just a little overzealous positioning, MK, from the survivors. They were a little split there.
Yeah, and it cost them a ton of HP, and it looks like they got Rochelle down to have to pop her pills. And I mean, if we're looking like damage output, due to the fact that DB goes down quicker, it might be vital for Nice Try to start targeting that to get the bonus down quickly, because it looks like with this momentum here and all that they're gonna make the safe room again.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we can see things happen, like I've been saying time and time again, clearly trying to give a Nice Try a rope here to pull them through, but that hit is not quite going to be up
this
to snuff.
Smoker? No, not like this! Okay, so here's the thing, right? That Smoker, to me at least, is kind of vital for that choke, and I was thinking to myself, alright, if Nice Try quad them on the coaster, that's not as good as a tank wipe, but it's still kind of what they need, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they need a quad here.
Yeah, I would love to see them trying to aggressively sack for a quad. I truly would. But you know they are going to be going up to a scary choke here in a bit. Away they go. Take it away, MK.
Are they going up the Charger Rockets? Oh, he ain't gonna get nothing. That was very ambitious.
Oh.
Wait, what? The Hunter pound. I think the Hunter landed on the Charger.
Who was the Charger?
I don't know, but that was really ambitious. Just to rocket it right off the top with no assistance, leading the way. Gets melted pretty much, and that's an attack shutdown. And I think the momentum has shifted here, Rails.
Yeah, the reason that I'm laughing at that is because I think we're at a point, just because of how the game has gone so far, and like I said, to their credit, it would take some real mental resilience to withstand what we saw happen in the first two maps, because it is a little bit absurd, but I think the mental game right now is being unequivocally won by Team Vaso De Leche. They still have some time to prove that to be wrong, but they're leading with the Chargers now on the special infected side. That is not going to do it from any kind of wipe standpoint. Like, you could argue that they're trying to kill them so fast that they get another one for the next hit, but if none of them land, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
They get the coaster here now. You see this?
Yeah,
they get it for free.
They're going to be able to just walk up and turn it off for, like you said, for free. And it's rare to see a team that is totally unbreakable mentally. Of course, it does happen at the very top level of pro play across some games. But there comes a breaking point, and I think Nice Try has met that breaking point as the survivors are going to walk up, threatening 1,100 points here. Last chance quad in the hands of Nice Try. Take it away, Rails.
Yeah, it is going to be that Smoker Charger Jockey, and the fourth SI actually isn't even a quad. It's going to be a spitter, so they could get a decent amount of damage, but the Smoker goes in, not going to land. Charger just kind of YOLOs it towards the Jockey, but I think Team Vaso De Leche know they've got the 4-1 coming, and MK, we have the Star Paws support, but just because of the pings, if you land a single or a double boom there, like, it's the one boom of doom kind of in that area, more so on this ping than it would be otherwise. It's just kind of like, that could have done so much more damage than that Hunter landing, the tank being nowhere near. And Team Vaso De Leche are in an insanely controlling position, 2,492 to 360 MK before the second half of map 3.
Yeah, and they still got to go with their side yet, and it's 500 distance. Even if they got a perfect score, 1,600 points would still put them down about 700 points. So unfortunately, we might already know the outcome of this one, but doesn't mean they have to put out yet. They still want to survive this tank and see if they could do so, having lose at least one survivor to every tank fight so far.
I was watching a cast of yours, MK, last night, and it was like, even in the most unlikely scenarios, even, I forget the exact teams, I want to say it was Amagami, but even in the most unlikely of scenarios, even mathematically impossible, they fought it out, and I want to see Nice try to do the same because, you know, miracles do happen.
Indeed, they do. Charger, Smoker, Boomer, Hunter for Team Vaso De Leche. On the SI side, first Charger's going to go in and die. Buena Vibra is going to have this tank for Vaso De Leche when the survivors get there. In the meantime, it's just 7 chip damage, and there is that triple boom. MK, I am really interested to see what Vaso De Leche do in terms of their SI support. Like I said, part of me is just screaming for the SI side to get a boomer somehow here.
Yeah, I don't disagree, and especially when you have everybody that's not relatively high ping, but still, if you're around the 180 range, if you get like a 3 or a 2 boom, or 2 or 3 boom, it's going to make it quite a challenge for the survivors to shoot the tank, especially if the tank gives it a second for the commons to get in there. It could be very disastrous for them. But we do have a tri-cap with Spit coming up here now. Why don't you take it away?
All right, they are going to be walking into the choke point here through the hallway. We got the Charger on the back side. We'll reposition towards the front alongside the other end cappers, Jockey, Smoker. They both spawn at the same time. Smoker, no. Jockey gets M2'd away. Spit comes out with the charge. And the Spit through. Pulled back right into it. 91.6% left. And nice chip pre-tank.
Indeed it is. The reason I said oh no there, if it wasn't blatantly obvious, was because essentially all the SI came from the same direction, but Rochelle didn't kite back far enough to make that an issue. Instead, she kind of went to the side there, and the Charger just kind of managed to get a free angle on her, so that was unfortunate. The tank is up in the hands of Buena Vibra for Team Vaso De Leche, and he's actually surprised with not again! Are you kidding me? No. This is going to be the tank committing in. He's going to get a corner onto Nick. It's absolute chaos. There's a quad boom going out because somebody heard what I'm saying! He just punched 3 survivors at the same time! He punched another 2 survivors! This game is over, and I don't even know why, because this tank is now getting the in-cap onto Star. Once again, Vaso De Leche have this lethal ability on the SI side to hit on transitions, and every time, for 3 maps in a row, Team Nice Try have not been in the position to withstand that kind of capitalization. It was a transition on map 1 that caused the chaos that led to the wipe. It's the transition on map 2 that led to that charger landing, plus also the dumpster going in. You can argue the survivors were kind of floating around. They weren't actively moving back, and now on this map, that transition backwards is what literally killed them in a way that is just so lightning fast that it's hard to describe, in my opinion.
I don't think that piñatas are popular in China, but that was the piñata formation coming out, and Vaso De Leche knew exactly what to do with that. Taking the stick, breaking it up, eating all the candy. We're headed to the Ferris wheel.
That was absolutely hilarious
insane.
coming out. And not only does the caster call it, but Rails, you said, I want to see the boomer land, and you got it with fashion. You got a quad boom with a tank commit. Double, triple punches were going out. It was quite a tank from Vaso De Leche.
If you get quad boom there on green ping, I think you die. So if you play with 170, then I think you die like 4 times. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. I like the call, though, setting the hunter just to keep that one survivor trailing behind, giving him that instant corner because 2 of the teammates were far away. And I think he got 2 punches before really anybody was even shooting him.
Yeah.
It's been the same thing for 3 maps in a row. That's what I'm kind of gobsmacked at. You know what I mean?
I mean, these teams. I mean, they're equally seated. You know, we're reaching the end of Swiss, but Vaso De Leche proving that they need to be up higher. They are making
a fierce
noise.
team.
Yeah.
Like when I was watching them play before, I was like, okay, they're really good. They're really good. I've played against a couple of them in like Cedar Pug or Left 4 Dead 2 Center, but MK. If they're playing like this and they're able to capitalize on moments like that, because this game is all about 2 things. It's about momentum, right? Well, it's technically about 3 things, but it's about momentum, it's about knowing the meta in terms of how it's played on the config, but it's capitalizing on moments. Like, if you can hit during a transition for the survivors and get somebody caught out, or if you can land a hittable, at some point and then capitalize on that during a tank, you can win so many games. And Team Vaso De Leche are just impressing the hell out of me right now.
Yeah, they're playing very good this tournament so far. Their only loss, falling to Fear Factory. It needed to go to the finale to decide that game as well. It was an awesome game to have casted. But right now we're going to keep on going. Vaso De Leche with their survivor side. They have a Charger, Smoker, Hunter, and Spitter to deal with. And nothing like having the best hit given to you right out of the safe room. How about it, Rails?
Indeed, and the survivors are still thinking that this is a match, obviously, as that jockey gets killed, but the charger does land. They were being cautious about it. You don't see them just holding W randomly because they know and they're respecting the fact that their opponents are as good as they are, and that was one of the better first hits I think we've seen from Team Nice Try, but at the same point in time, it's been the tank play on this entire game that's decided it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely... And we saw, like, the Smoker pulling through on Nice Try's SI side when the tank comes in. The Smoker tried to pull back, Charge tried to set up for it, but that tank for Vaso De Leche was just in there immediately. They had that played out from the start, and they made it happen. Jockey Charger, boom, Smoke is going to come in. Smoker from behind gets cleared up. Charger will get 1 smackdown before it gets meleeed away. Double boom, that's it. It is going to be, decent damage coming out, but like you said, a game of tanks.
Oh shit! Watch out!
And speaking of tanks,
it's going to be probably the last tank of the game for Team Nice Try in the hands of 37.2, and we're gonna have the survivors run back to the safe room area to fight this tank. Yeah, it's football season in America. We're getting ready for it, so my brain is kind of stuck. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
I mean, hey, this is something where 37.2, he has to get a wipe, first of all, and then if we saw... I don't know, MK alluded to this earlier, though, but it's like, because it's Dark Carnival Remix, you don't usually see, like, massive comebacks on Map 3 and Map 4. Like, obviously, a lot of Map 3s and 4s have been nerfed recently, but especially on this campaign... I don't know, like, it's quote-unquote doable. We always get in this conversation as casters where you want to be optimistic towards reality, where it's like it's possible that could happen, but in terms of probability, right, if he gets a wipe and then somehow Team Nice Try find a way to survive a tank, which hasn't happened so far. It could happen. Here's another hittable, though, going in this time from Team Nice Try in there. It's going in on Rochelle, but it's not going to land onto her. The tank is going to commit with this, and he's saying he wants revenge. He just wants to whip these hittables in a way that make actual sense. There's a smoker pool getting out. It is going to get cleared. He's missing a long arm punch. Now he gets one onto Rochelle, but he does not have a corner. Down to 2,500 HP, getting another punch onto Rochelle. There's the corner. Smoker's going to die. The melees are going out. Hunter and Jockey both going in, and there's a dumpster that's going to fly past Ellis's head as the tank gets a multi-punch. Man, that was an interesting tank, MK. I'll let you analyze that first.
Wait. Oh, did you see that? Your show got yeeted over the fence. I just realized that.
Yeah.
Oh, and Rochelle's playing the game.
She's cool in it right now. I mean, you've always got time for some stash whacker.
But the tank has been dealt with. Vaso De Leche just loses about 40% of their bonus since the beginning of the map, and the tank has been killed off. The Boomer now kills itself. I wonder if they're going to go for a quad sack, but it doesn't seem so. Looks like they're going to set up for the edge of this hallway with only 3, and they're going to fall for it. That's going to be some good damage coming out here, Rails.
I love how the smoker went in at the same time as the spitter, just kind of like around the corner there, cannoli eating it to the face, but I think Team Nice Try are kind of aware of where things are at right now. Obviously they're going to play it out, but like huge respect to Vaso De Leche for doing as well as they have, especially in a game of 2 evenly matched teams at 3-1. Obviously Team Nice Try, you know, like I said, it's a game of moments. They just were on the wrong side, I think, in some ways of this one. And no, I think you probably agree with me. They're still going to be a threat as we go deeper into the tournament. But this, I think, really speaks to how well Vaso De Leche has done overall.
Definitely, China has been a force to be reckoned with here at RBT7. And Nice Try could absolutely bounce back. But this is going to be a massive hit to their egos here with Vaso De Leche just having the run of the farm. Here, Chapter 4, continuing on the tradition. We'll see how it plays out. Charger, not going to quite land it. We'll get some smack smoker separating in the meantime, so it will be some decent damage coming out again. But it's kind of like the tank. Yeah, the damage was all right. Like, the hittable was so close, but close only counts in a couple things, and it's not going to be Left 4 Dead 2, so...
But all right, they're going to have to navigate through the rooftop, get this event started. They do have a Hunter, actually 2-cap, Jockey Hunter, and I don't think they're going to send this inside. Probably going to hit on the transition out because they don't have time to sack for a hit on the other side of the Kitty Land building, which is probably where the best hit would have been if they had better spawns for him.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to do what they can here with a Horde in a red ping versus red ping situation. Anything's possible, but the survivors rightly back up there, clear most of it. Boomer goes in on 2. Common can still do a decent amount of damage, and they have 2 survivors who are slow, so it's not going to be absolutely nothing, but as you said, this is one of those things where I think the survivors are kind of in a position where they can win the game by making safer with whatever they have, and we're probably not going to see a finale off this just because the score delta kind of is what it is. And, you know, like I said, Team Nice Try, it's not that they've been just like totally outclassed in this game, because they haven't in my opinion, but they definitely need to capitalize better on those moments. Speaking of which, there's a Charger landing, Smoker landing. We aren't going to see the quad, however, though they were going for a good amount of damage there, MK, but they do not get the wipe.
No, they'll delay the survivors a little bit by getting an in-cap onto Coach. That is actually, believe it or not, the first down of the round so far.
Oh my god.
No one is in danger of dying yet. The only problem is they have a survivor at 1 HP, and that person is going to be... Actually, I don't think they got in-cap, so they should be still quick.
They are. Yeah, Alice is still just kind of dragging along there. And no, I mean, we got a 2-2 coming up here, and the survivors, even if they take an in-cap, they're most likely not going to wipe.
Yeah, gonna try to hit down the DB. It is going to be decently effective with that jockey, but, you know, I mean, again, not really any major connections. Even with all the members of Vaso De Leche so low, they weren't able to find in-cap, and they're just not going to be able to find any forward momentum.
This is weird, because the score difference is what it is, you know what I mean? But it doesn't feel like a blowout. Am I making sense when it comes to that? Yeah.
I mean, on one hand, Vaso De Leche has been looking cracked. But it's not like Nice Try has just gotten completely ran over, as we see the smoke into the charge with the smackdown. Down go 2.
It's hard to describe because it's like obviously it is a blowout in some ways because every moment's been capitalized on by one team. But you could also sit there and be like, okay, well, you know, it wasn't like the tanks were played terribly at all by Team Nice Try. It's not like they made any, you know, like really stupid survivor mistakes.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful SI play and capitalization by Team Vaso De Leche. You know what I mean? Like they're not beating up on a team that's a lot worse than them at all. Like these two teams are pretty evenly matched from what they've done in the tournament so far. But MK, I mean, the takeaway is that in Left 4 Dead 2, whatever team capitalized on the moments more is going to win the game.
Yes, and they did. I mean, they were able to grind out survivors. Actually, every tank just ended up being a wipe, if I remember correctly.
Literally.
Yeah.
Every single one. Will they continue the tradition once Nice Tries on the survivor side is my question here. But for now, the final moments here of the survivor side for Vaso De Leche. And Rails, how about you take this hit away?
All right, we got Charger, Jockey, Spitter, and a Hunter for Team Nice Try. It is probably going to be their last hit unless they get an in-cap here and then troll it. But the survivors are going to be making their way to the safe room with Coach already getting in, that being Cannoli. He is black and white, so he's not going to die, at least in his mind, by going in there and avoiding whatever else is going to happen. Ellis is on top of the railing here as this Hunter does spawn up. Charger's waiting a little bit, now going in, jumping over the railing, getting killed. Hunter getting skeeted, and Team Vaso De Leche are putting the exclamation point on this beautiful match from them. As you mentioned, their only losses come to Team Fear Factory so far, and if they keep playing like this, who knows, that could even be like a late playoffs or maybe even a finals matchup, because that jockey's going to die. They're going to make the safe room, and they are impressing, I think, everybody who's watching this with how they've done, especially without their team captain, but they're doing it for him. They kill Cannoli and score 3,132 points for this match, MK.
Yeah, that is a very impressive 4-chapter score, and especially since no one's green, ping, or orange. I think that's very respectable for them. And like we were saying before, it's just some unfortunate circumstances coming out to Nice Try, because they were playing very good with their special infected. They were playing very good with their traditional survivor play without the tank. And just sometimes things happen, and I think they were caught on the short end of the stick here, and I know.
Yeah, but that, I mean, Rails brought up a great point. Also, I believe MK, you said on chapter 1 that Pee-wee is their team captain and their lead shotgun player.
Yes.
Is that so? And he's not here. He's not in the server. And Vaso De Leche is just absolutely running through. Yes, Nice Try has had moments to shine, absolutely, but they've all been marred by the tanks of Vaso De Leche. They have absolutely stolen the thunder of Nice Try in the most impressive of ways. We are going to have a hit coming up. Hunter, Spitter, Jockey, Charger. We'll see what Vaso De Leche can do. Tank can be coming in pretty soon.
Exactly, and I gotta be honest, with this tank, I'm not expecting a 4-for-4 tank wipe thing, but also, to be honest, I wasn't expecting it last map either. So, Let's see exactly what happens here on the special infected side. As they do go in, that's gonna be a Hunter landing with no real spit damage. The Jockey is gonna go in as the Charger stumbles him off the railing for the spit damage, MK.
That was pretty quick, but I want to know where the heck did that Hunter spawn? Did you see that?
He crept out. He was Michael Myers style, just walking up behind that guy.
Walked up behind him, yeah.
Is that what it was? I was trying to figure out where he came from. He's like literally right behind the survivor. I must have missed it. But still, a good shutdown from Nice Try, and now they're going to have to navigate on the outside. Hunter's going to pre-spawn. Smoker, Boomer, Charger are going to linger. As soon as they come out, they should send it.
I love the confidence from Vaso De Leche, obviously considering the circumstances, but like to pre-spawn a Hunter like that and just follow somebody in an RBT match between 2, 3, and 1 teams, I absolutely love it. I just absolutely love it. That single boom does land. Hunter's bouncing around, not really getting chipped either as he just kind of jumps into the sky. It could be a quad attempt if Team Nice Try aren't fast enough for MK.
Yes, it's going to be their gun. Oh no, it's going to be a Spitter.
Never mind, Spitter, okay.
But still great damage output possibility. The Hunter's really ambitious. It distracts, gets the pull. The Hunter eventually gets skidded.
Oh my god!
Double charge back there. The spit lands. But yeah, that yeeted Coach really far back inside the barn.
I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting a double charge to land there, I'm going to be honest, guys.
I don't know how they pieced it. It looked like the Hunter was just hopping around, having a good time, hunting for a DP here and there, and all of a sudden you got this double charge coming out. Misery, perhaps, is going to be the final tank here for Vaso De Leche. Interesting to see what they are going to go for the hit here early on. Jockey trying to carry away. Everything gets cleared up, save for that boom in the hands of Buena Vibra. We'll see what the tank is able to do.
Here it comes!
Ooh.
Oh, okay, never mind. Thought that was going to be a repeat of map 2.
I was excited, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to see where it was gonna go.
No, and that's the thing about this game and about how competitive Left 4 Dead 2 has the history that it does. You do have stories or themes that kind of consider themselves to be, I don't know, continuations over the course of matches or years or whatever. And right now, I mean, it wouldn't really surprise me to see a hittable just rocketing in, find its way onto one of the survivors just from how this game is gone. Missouri is going to whack another one of them in, and there you go, it kills the ragdoll of the Charger, which was already dead, and that's why you have the 4Cs coming out in chat there, no.
Yeah, that was, I mean, the dumpsters, the absolutely, like y'all have been saying the entire time, just the hittable control has been on another level. He's going to continue to try to volley these dumpies into play, see what he can make happen. We got a Jockey Smoker Hunter. He's got them evenly spread, so we'll see what he does. Ooh, got a triangle formation here, trying to triangulate as he hits the dumpster in. 10% down. They are going to be running, taking refuge inside the bumper cars, but Missouri is just going to run straight in. The Jockey hops in. This might not be a wipe. This might not be a wipe.
Doesn't look like it as that second punch goes out, but now we do have a survivor pin next to a dumpster, and there is the dumpster going out onto Star, and now the tank is going to sit behind it. He's going to throw the E-Rock at it, not going to land it. He does have a little bit of time, and the thing is the survivors have no angle on him. They have absolutely no angle whatsoever. They're getting a little bit now, and I think he gets the... Nope, he's gonna die right beforehand. I was gonna say maybe he gets the kill on that, but that's why the ZZ goes out in chat. Honestly, MK, because of the fact... They were starting to shoot him a little bit, and obviously it's a lot easier for us to say this as that charge spit does land, but in the moment there, it's like, okay, like you want to try to get him before the survivors find a way to kill you because they're surrounding you, but I don't think they had an angle on him there to do that, believe it or not.
No, I mean, it was a great attempt. They almost did get a grind out. I mean, with 1,700 HP and you get the in-cap with no support, it's going to be really difficult, even if you're hiding behind something where the survivors can peek around to try to pick your HP down a little bit, but it just didn't really work out for them, so they're going to be able to survive for the first time. Nice try, and unfortunate for Vaso De Leche, they don't get 4 wipes yet.
Yet. We are kind of celebrating here for a nice try with their survival on the tank, but lest we forget, 50% of the bonus gone. They've barely even started this chapter, and Nice Try's got a long road ahead of them just for this chapter 4. The one boom proxy with the charge following up, not quite going to get the collat. Will connect with the coach, and they'll continue on.
Indeed they will. Yeah, I would be extremely surprised to see a finale here just because the comeback potential is almost not. And as you guys mentioned, right, I mean, they've already got, what, 55% of the bonus gone if you're on Team Vaso De Leche's side, right? So they can feel pretty confident about this one, and whoever they play next week, they've already dealt with Fear Factor. You know what I mean? Like, I'm already looking forward a little bit to the next week of matches just for them. I can't wait to see who they're matched up against with next week and what map they pick, because, like I said, this is the kind of Left 4 Dead 2 that everybody kind of loves to watch between two like high-level teams from different regions. They are going to be a challenge for literally anybody else in this tournament. As this jockey goes in, managing to land, kind of proving me right as that Hunter hits the intercept. The Charger went into a different zip code for some reason. I don't know if he was trying to intercept on the jockey or what that was, but MK, like I said, Vaso De Leche are my team to watch.
Sorry.
And yes, they've definitely been climbing up their ranks. Oh, the Smoker almost gets a pull onto him, but he had a teammate to watch for him. But yeah, they've been working their way up the ranks. They've been getting some victories on some... Okay. Charger.
Ole!
Yeah, just kind of playing peekaboo with the survivors and running away after he spawns. But they've been working their way up rails. They've been getting some victories over some top teams as well. Another up-and-coming team, Colossus as well. They've been getting some victories over some top teams. So we have seen some new teams starting to make their way up, and I'm very, very excited to see them coming up here in RBT7.
Indeed, as am I. And what were you going to say, Mel?
Yeah, I was just going to say that the South American representation in the top 16 was, to me, a little bit lacking compared to the other regions, just based on how many South American team entries we had in this tournament. And it's great to see such a resounding victory here from one of them. Like y'all were talking about, I mean, international competition, it's so sick to be able to watch. There's so much region lock happening in modern gaming. And to get a chance to watch, for example, China and Peru, or at least China and South America from two ends of the earth facing off here, it's amazing to see. We do have the hit in. On to nice try. You know, they've continued to get chipped down. They're doing well. They've got 400 bonus left, but, you know, in the context of the situation, they need a little bit more. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, they would need another couple maps, I think, to maybe make this close, depending on how it goes, but again, like, congratulations Team Vaso De Leche, honestly, for how they played this match and for how they've executed in this game. Commiserations to Team Nice Try, but this tournament is far from over, obviously, for either of these sides, and I kind of love what you said about the fact that Left 4 Dead 2 isn't region locked is like, okay, cool, like, for some of us, we want to see some more representation, probably, from the North American scene, but the South American scene has been doing so amazingly for this game for the past, like, what, 3-4 years, depending on how you want to look at it. It's just like, okay, when you have a scene that's that strong, and I immediately think of Team Corey, obviously, because how can you not? It's like, all right, not only are they doing this, but now we have this other team to watch as we see them hit kind of like a rolling tri-cap with an in-cap there, not gonna lie, just because of the fact they managed to get Coach down and that pull, sorry, not Coach, Ellis rather, down with that pull going out in the back MK. It's cool to see teams from any scene kind of transcend to that level where they can match up to, I don't know, probably any standard you want to put when it comes to international Left 4 Dead 2.
Yes, we did miss out on a few teams that didn't participate in RBT7. We did miss Charges goes in, does land a charge forward. Doesn't get a slam though, cleared quickly. Unfortunately, we didn't have any of the Australian teams didn't sign up, but if I do remember correctly here, Rails, I do believe that we did have a team sign up that was from Africa. I think it was the first team from the continent that I could remember.
Really?
They did end up dropping out of the tournament eventually. They were a little outclassed, but yes, they did participate, heard about RBT7, and tried to represent for their region.
That is sick.
That is awesome. Yeah. I mean, hey, if they had to drop out, they had to drop out. It's whatever when it comes down to that, too. But if we could get a team from, like, 6 to 7 continents, that might actually be what we've seen this tournament, right? If you said we have a team from Africa, yeah, then that's kind of what you love to see, because Left 4 Dead 2 is such an international game. If you play it no matter where you're from, if you're good at it, something I've always loved about the game is that, like, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't really matter where you're from, ping obviously matters, but if you play well, you play well. That's like a common denominator, you know? So I kind of just love that being a fact. Like, what is it? Like I said, 14, 15 years into this game.
It can run on bad PCs, you know? Like, I mean, the requirements are low, and it breeds competition amongst any region. It's so sick to see. We do see Nice Try approaching the safe room. They got 20% of the bonus left, but, you know, 224 plus the full 500 bonus air distance. They are going to be locking about, you know, 2,000 points behind.
Oh no, Rochelle's getting pull ganked on the side here like in Dota 2 as the Hunter lands in the back. This is going to be an in-cap almost onto Rochelle. Indeed, it's going to be as Ellis just walks his way down the rail there and manages to get the clear eventually. Charger going in, not going to land the crowbar. Almost managed to decapitate that Charger before that happened, but this is unfortunate as I don't usually see survivors over in this section. I think Rochelle was trying to block the spawn and then the smoker got the pull. But once again, like at every single opportunity where there's been any kind of error made by the survivor side, it's Team Vaso De Leche's SI really that's won them this game. Obviously, great job to them getting 3,100 points with the ping as well. I think MK mentioned that, but they are going to take this 3,132 to 998 over Team Nice Try, and I cannot wait to see what they do in this tournament, guys.